Hello guys, Zennosh here and welcome to Exos Heroes, and seems like a total of 3 new characters have finally made their debut in this game, and they are Rienor, Kruger and Hinder. That said, it's time to review their skills and let's see if they are going to be of any help to the current meta contents or not. That said, let's get this started. So right over here guys, the period for the Rienor is going to be after the update and it's going to last until 2nd of September, and after which the Kruger banner will pop out. That's going to be from 2nd of September until the 9th of September, and after 9th of September the Hinder banner is gonna go on until 16th of September. Okay, so yeah, there we go guys. Now that said, it's time to look into the drop rate of the new hero units, right? For the Rienor, who is the general unit, or let's say the faded signature faded hero unit, she's gonna drop at 0.5% chance from her old banner, and you will be able to get her for free after 28 multi-summons from her banner. And the next one is gonna be Kruger. That is 0.7% drop chance from his own banner, and you will be able to get him for free after 19 multi-summons from his banner. Whereas the last one is gonna be Hinder. Is gonna drop at 1% chance from his banner, though the core mileage or multi-summons needed seems to be a little bit typo error right over here, which I think is about 13 multi-summons, but it's written 28, so I'm a little bit confused about that. Anyways, now that's it. Now it's time to review the skills of Rienor. Let's look into this right away, and she definitely looks goddamn amazing. The devs, I mean, like, the artwork team have really done so good thus far in Exos Heroes, like artwork department. So this time as well, they have really rocked it. They have really nailed it as well. We have got a new amazing wife unit right over here with an amazing artwork. Okay, so now that said, let's look into her skill information. The passive skill effect known as the Focus Fire 3, just like Rera. Okay, afflicts target with the Focus Fire mark and decreases dodge block for 1 round on basic attack. So that's what it says. All right. An extra ways of gaining mana right over here. Gains mana 1 mana when the marked target dies, and gains mana 1 mana if the health of their target is at 70% or more. This is definitely a very great help in the Zennosh tenure battles when you are trying to deal with those opponents with very high dodge stats as well as block stats. Alright, so this is great. The next one is going to be the flow of mana. Overtime effect, back row allies permanently gains 1 mana. Similar to that of Raquel and Gina, it's really great. It boosts your DPS units, alright, because in the Zennosh tenure battles the DPS type units are forced to be placed in the back row, right? So definitely it's pretty great in order to improve your DPS output. Next is gonna be Fiesta. It's a mark effect, afflicts Fiesta mark to an enemy with lower attack than self. If an enemy with Fiesta mark is hit with a basic attack, deals piercing damage equal to 100% of own attack. Okay, seems to be pretty good. Not really that super special though there might be a little bit of chance that she might actually be the one to keep on dealing that extra damage by herself to that particular opponent if any kind of attack happens to that enemy, like with the Fiesta mark on it. Just my hypothesis, okay? But well, for that we really need to try her out. Alright, but this seems to be pretty good. Anyways, if you're asking me what's the piercing damage effect, well, it seems to ignore the 25% of the defense of the opponents. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not really that amazing in my opinion, as the basic attack is the one that is actually going to be included in it, and most of the time we actually do rely upon the active skills. So not one of the best, general mark effect out here. Next is gonna be Curtain Off. Special effect, counters when an enemy attacks another ally besides self. That is great. Okay, that is really great. Extra DPS right out there. And if there are 2 or more living front row allies at the start of the round, which is a really good requirement, grants stealth to self for 1 round. That is so good, guys. Stealth is such a good stuff, meaning like you will not be able to be targeted by the opponents, and you are actually going to receive some reduced damage, okay, which we will be discussing a little bit later. Because right over here in the 2 phase, okay, just look at this, it says mark effect, when in a stealth, reduces own damage received by 50% and increases own critical damage by 30%. So definitely stealth is an amazing stuff out here, guys. Okay, first of all, you cannot be targeted. You can only be targeted by the AoE skills. The opponents are supposed to use the AoE skill in order to break your stealth, and in case if you kinda dodged that particular AoE attack, your stealth will actually remain, okay? So that is great, and she's actually gonna grant a stealth to herself for 1 round. That is amazing right off the bat, okay? And with the stealth, she is actually going to reduce the received damage in case she actually got hit by the AoE attack by 50%, and she is going to improve her critical damage by 30%. That is just too good. She is out there to deal a lot of damage, which we will be discussing a little bit later when we are talking about her active skills. Alright, now finally, the next passive skill effect is going to be Rota Fortunae. Okay, so it's a mark effect. Every time own basic attack hits an enemy, increases own attack by 20% and can be stacked up to 5 times. One thing to note right over here, it can be stacked. Okay, so that means like at a total, you can actually boost your attack by 100%, and there don't seem to be a timer, meaning like after this turns, it will actually go off or something like that. There's no such thing as that, meaning like seems like this thing right over here seems to be permanent. It's not a buff effect, so nobody can actually just take it away from her. It's a mark effect, alright? And it seems to be a little bit of permanent in nature. As long as she is going to hit an enemy with her basic attack, right, she is actually going to boost her attack by 20% every time, a total of 100% attack boost. So in long run, definitely she can deal a lot of damage. Think about it. It may not be really that effective in the Devastating battle or Arc Words, but when we are talking about the PvE carnage, the story chapter carnage, she might actually be dealing one of the best damage out there to the opponents. Okay, so this is great. This is great. All right, definitely it's meant for the PvE battles, but if the PvP battles or Devastating battles gets elongated, definitely she has the role out there. Okay, she definitely has the advantage. Okay, so that said, now let's look into her first active skill. It requires 4 mana. Wow, I mean like the cheap skill is already requiring 4 mana. My god, that's quite expensive. Okay, Romantic Case, it says, deals 255% damage to all enemies, which I would say is pretty much not really that worth it. It's like, oh man, no burst effect and just 255%, which is not really that great damage modifier. It's just like, it's okay, it's okay. Next one is gonna be the active skill number 2. Required mana, 5 mana, and there still don't seem to be a burst effect. It's the Domination Judgment. Single target deals 735% piercing damage to one enemy. Okay, definitely this is gonna be her bread and butter. As much as possible, you should always be trying to use her second active skill in order to get the advantage against your opponents. But oh well, thanks to your passive skill effect, this might be the reason why she might actually be using her basic attack most of the time, and thanks to that basic attack, definitely she will have much ample time in stacking up her attack stats, so that with her second active skill, she can pretty much finish off the deal. It's 735% piercing damage, so it's very massive, and with 5 mana, definitely a lot of signature force will be in the role play, okay, meaning like a lot of damage will be dealt to the opponents. So in overall, is she really worth summoning for now? The answer is simply not really, okay, because definitely she does not have the Fate Core as of now. Definitely she's not going to receive any sort of core memory boost, so using her in the battlefield is totally out of the question, okay, as of now, because there will be a lot of stats that will be, you know, like not with her. She is actually going to suffer a lot of penalty due to a lot of mechanism not supporting her as of this moment. So definitely it's not really that superb idea to summon her as of now. We gotta wait for her gold Fate Core to actually come up, and only after that time we can actually think about summoning her, okay? So yes, core memory is definitely something that we have to actually look forward to. Anyways, for now, just save your cess for some really good gold Fate Core unit that is going to come on their way, because the rates are pretty much the similar, and it's not really a good time to actually summon for her, because definitely her nation only involves like 3 units, right? And that means like it's gonna be really hard to build a team around her, which can be very effective in the battlefield, okay? So yeah, that said, definitely not really a great idea to summon in that banner. Next one is gonna be Kruger. So Kruger is going to be the first lieutenant for this Wonderland nation, alright, and he looks pretty macho and pretty daddy type, you know, like is looking very dandy, guys. Alright, so there we go. Now let's look into her passive, into his passive effect, block 3, alright. Afflicts all enemies with Provoke. Now, that's what I really love. Provoke is one of the best thing that you can actually see with a particular tanky unit, alright? It actually kind of interrupt or disrupts the momentum of the opponents and just, just shifts the momentum of the battle in your favor. So if an ally takes damage and their health falls below 30% and grants heal over time to self, that heals for 20% of attack every turn for 5 turns. Okay, gains mana 1 mana if on health is 20% or less when triggered. Gains mana 1 mana if on health is at 70% or more when triggered. So extra ways of gaining mana right over there. Pretty good. It is, that says special effect. If an enemy with Fiesta mark is damaged by a basic attack, decreases own received damage by 50% for 5 turns. Now this, I would say, is really good. Okay, 50% of damage reduction, really awesome. Not really that hard to trigger. All he need to do is attack an enemy with a basic attack that has Fiesta mark on it, okay? And that's all. 5 turns of 50% damage reduction is pretty huge. That means like this guy can actually tank a lot of damage, and the Provoke, it's definitely a very good mechanism that actually combos with it, okay? It has a really good synergy with it. So yeah, I would say it's a really good stuff for him, because as a tank, he really don't have to resort to the first active skill or second active skill, okay? And he's a tank, don't expect a lot of damage out of him, so even some basic attack will actually do really good for a tank, alright? And that's it. This is pretty great in my opinion. Pretty great, pretty good tank, guys. And the first active skill, it's known as the Infinity Fist, required mana 2 mana, alright, and deals 375% damage to one enemy, which I think is pretty fair. That's a lot of damage that you can pretty much do. With the signature force, definitely more damage will be done to the opponents. Next one is going to be the Blockbuster pair. Active skill number 2, required mana 4 mana, alright, and there don't seem to be a burst effect, and it's only kind of limited to the back row first. So deals 300% damage to all back row enemies, which I would say is not one of the best out there. It's better to actually just hit the opponent with the basic attack so that he can actually get that 50% of damage reduction buff, okay? Or special, or whatever that is. Okay, so that is great. I like that, I like that. That is great, guys. Now that's it. Now let's move on to the next unit, and his name is Hinder. So, is Hinder really that great unit? Oh, by the way, if you're asking me, should you really be getting Kruger? Don't actually even think about summoning for him, okay? Eventually you are gonna get him one way or the other, alright? So no, don't spend any amount of cess in his banner. You are gonna get him eventually. He definitely is good, but not one of the best out there. We really have to wait for his Fate Code to come out, alright? And then only after that one we might actually be able to, make some decisions that should we be really summoning for him or not, alright? Now that's it. The next unit right over here, let's talk about him, and his name is I kind of forget his name. Hinder. Yes, Hinder. So looking into the artwork, he definitely looks slick, very like shadowy type of like mystical type of guy and stuff like that. A lot of mysteries and secrets are held within its brain. Anyways, passive effect, it says finishing blow 3, alright? Attacks if an enemy takes damage and its health drops to 10% or less, gains mana 1 mana. So he's an assassin just like Jin and Baraka. Error proofing, okay? So there is this special effect. Afflicts an enemy with a curse. Upon hitting on basic attack, if the enemy has Fiesta mark with 10% or less health, there is a condition out here, okay? First condition, the opponent needs to have the Fiesta mark. The second condition, the opponent needs to have 10% or less health, and at that time the curse will trigger, and curse will deal 50% of own attack as damage every turn for 6 turns. Sounds familiar? Pretty much like the Fear of Abyss, okay? So not really that great in my opinion, not really that super duper great. So I would say, yeah, okay. Something good to have, but not definitely the great one that might actually change the meta or be of really great help in both PvE or PvP contents. Subordination out here, required mana 3 mana effect, deals 178% damage to all enemies, just like Magi out there, right? Not really that one of the best skill out there. Active skill number 2, required mana 4 mana, no burst effect, screening test, deals 750% damage to one enemy. Really good single target. New can deal a lot of damage with the signature force. And now definitely the main question, should we be really summoning for him? And the answer is simply no. No. So in overall, definitely don't ever even think of summoning any one of these units. they are totally not worth it. Okay, just wait for their fate code to come out, and only at that time we will be able to come up with a really good decision should we be really summoning them or not. As of now, don't even waste your cess, don't even think about wasting your cess on them. If you have different views, opinions, do let me know in the comment section below. I would really love to know it. That's it and done. This is it for today. I hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya, guys.